Hello and welcome to our first card on a cuppa of May 2026. My name is Fiona Whitten and I'm here to share with you the card that I took with me this morning to card on a cuppa, and also the kit, and then I'm going to make the card using the kit. So just bear with me for 2 seconds whilst I actually make sure that this is going out live. I think it is. It doesn't look very in focus though, which is really weird, but because it's fine this end. Anyway, could just be my internet. So this is the card from this morning, and it's really simple, she says, and it's designed to be opened this way. So there is a frame that fits around a label, and then you open this up, and then that can then sit on there, and you've got your card like that. And then to close it, simply close that one back down, lift this for a second, close the top front flap, and then put this back around the frame, and it will actually, the frame back around the label, and it will hold the card like that perfectly. It won't swing open or anything like that. Look, I'm even shaking it quite fiercely and it doesn't open up. So this is something I'd like to say I thought of it myself. I was thinking about how to do this, and I suddenly thought maybe if I actually doubled up on the label, then it gives it enough grip for the frame to hold on to it. And that seems to work perfectly without having to worry about it folding open. So that's the card, and I'm just going to leave that up there, so hopefully that can still be seen. And then the kit, there were a fair amount of pieces. So this is all the pieces that were in the kit. So you've got your envelope, of course. I had pre-cut the card base. Now this started out as a piece of card like so, which is designed to be, can be folded in half to make a DL sized card, but I decided that I was going to do something slightly different, and I wanted to do a trifold. So I took this and I scored it at let's see, I think it was at 14.9, which is what you would normally do for a card here in the UK. The next one along I scored at 30. The reason for doing that is that I wanted to make sure that when this folded over, it was within the score line, so that you could then fold over the front without it causing any catching on anything. So there was method in my madness there. So that was the card base. There's some pieces of, this is the mixed media florals from Stampin' Up. I'm just double checking, yep. Which is a retired pack of paper. Got lots of retired packs of paper at the moment. So those are going to get glued on here and here. All the measurements for this will actually be, when I upload all this to YouTube, the description always contains the actual cutting instructions, so you don't need to write anything down, and I don't have to remember them off the top of my head. So we've got a large, well, say large, it's not that large, it's only like a centimetre, 1.5 centimetres long, wide I should say, by about 15, was it, yeah, 14.5. That's to go on the envelope, like so. You've got 2 pieces to go inside the card, or you can swap them around. So the frame and the label, the black, were cut out of one piece of card. So, and actually, I'd like to, yeah, I did actually cut them at the same time. So I had one, and then one that was smaller to make the actual label itself, which I then repeated using the white. So this is exactly the same size as that. Strip of black for this piece. You don't have to leave it that long on the back. I just did. Then there are 3 flowers. So these were punched using the Petite Petals punch. These 3 were punched using the, I can't remember now, but I'll find that out and I'll let you know on the description. And then there's 3 rhinestones. So it's a fair amount of cutting and prep, but the actual putting together is pretty easy. So I'm going to show you. First things to do is basically stick your paper on. So we've got a smaller piece that's going to go on the front. And then you want to make sure that the piece on the right hand side is folded over into the middle. You could use paper like that, and rather than that side, use that side. It's really up to you. At the end of the day, it's your card, so whatever paper you use, these are just the reverse side of those. If I do that, then my Calypso coral flowers not really going to go. Oh, they won't be too far out actually. So maybe I'll do that just as a difference. That's what I will do. That will work. I used the black originally because it's just so striking. It makes a statement. But the actual, the flowers on this paper on the other side that you'll see are quite distinctive because they've got the black around them. So I'm just going to put that piece on there. The only thing is, because I'm using the reverse side of the paper, I find that some of the edges will be sort of up a bit because I use a cutter with a blade. So when you cut, the blade pushes down and through. So it pushes the paper down, which can leave an edge on the other side, which you don't necessarily want. So I've always found that either use a bone folder or a thumbnail. I shouldn't really use my thumbnail because at the moment it's splitting. So I really should break the habit of using my thumbnail. I don't think I've been doing it much good by using it like that. So let's find my bone folder. I'll find a bone folder. I'm just going to do this to put the edge down. It also gives the chance for the glue to smear around underneath. Like so. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my sentiment onto that piece of white first before I do anything else, simply because if I make a boo-boo I can turn it over and it won't really matter. So on this one I used Thinking of You, which came from an old stamp set I had called Simply Said, and I grabbed a couple of others. I'm going to go a little bit different. I quite like this. I hope your day is a happy one, and I might just end up turning this way round. I think that would work as well. So that's what I'm going to do. So I got, the only problem is this is a cling mount stamp, so you can't actually see where you're stamping. I hope your day is a happy one. That's why I have to hope that my stamp, I'm actually thinking about it, it might not fit that way. It's going to be a bit iffy, so maybe I will do it that way after all. It's always as well to check first before you start stamping, otherwise you will end up having to turn things around. which is why I like the photopolymer. So for example, this thinking of you, I can see simply by wherever it is, that one. I can just place it on there and I can see that it fits. The birthday wishes will also fit. So maybe I'll do that because then I know exactly where I'm going. So take that one off. Let's tidy this up a second. I'll get rid of some of these so they're not in the way or end up falling off, which happens. Right. So birthday wishes. Let's do that. Pick that up. Calypso coral ink is what I need. So I'm hoping that this is going to be, so I'm going to, if I put that on here, so that this, so these little points there line up with the cross. This is my attempt of actually making sure that it's square, but hey, and then I need to sort of see that's gonna go there. And hope, well, it's not exactly straight, but it's close enough. Birthday wishes. And then I need to glue this piece of black to the back of it. So you won't actually see this piece of black underneath, but it's just to give a little bit of height to this so that when you put the frame on, it will hold it. So I'm going to put that in the middle. I know it's not in the middle of this piece, but it is in the middle of the card. So about there, and then that is going to get glued directly to the card front. Let's see if I can get that to straighten up a bit. I'll put some glue on here. Let's put this so that that's straight. And then I want this so that this is straight and roughly in the middle, like that. So I'll let that dry for a minute. So I've got my frame. I need to attach my strip of black to the back of this. So I'm just going to put some glue here, like so, and attach the strip. Now I don't want it so that this strip is going to the inside of the frame. I don't want to be able to see it on the inside. Let's see. Again, I'm going to sort of try and put this so that it's square, and then maybe I can put that so it's square. Get rid of that excess glue. Don't need that. And because I haven't, hopefully there's no excess glue, it's coming out here. So it's just going to fit on here. And you can feel it, you can hit, in fact, sometimes you can even hear it fitting around. So as you can see, that's not going to come off. And then the trick is just to simply fold that around the back of the card. Trim the excess off if you want to, but obviously you need to be able to glue some of it down. So I think I'm just going to take my scissors and cut about that much off. You can even banner it if you wanted to make it look nice. So that's on there, like that. So So we've got that. So that's all that bit, kind of, that's the base card done, really. So I've got bits to go on the inside, and I think I will use these pieces rather than the black. So that's going to fit on this piece here. So this should fit here, and then I've got another piece that will fit, oops, that side. I don't know if that's upside down, I don't know, I can't decide. I think that is the right way up, so I'm going to just quickly glue those on. So that's going to go in here. So make sure you don't go over the fold, because otherwise it will stop the card from actually folding over. And then similarly on the other end of that inside panel. You want to put it so that it's just within the fold again. Oops. Like so. So that's like that. So then you've got a nice space to put to write. So close that over again. And then all we have to do now is to decorate the frame. So I have, oops, got glue on my fingers, which is why that's sticking. Actually, so I've got 3 flowers and 3 lots of leaves and things. So my flowers, I am going to use my end of my, I don't know that I have the pokey tool on here. Don't think I do, no, it's a spatula. So I'm going to use this end and just simply use my palm of my hand, put the flower in that, and then use the end of this just to sort of get the flowers to bend, petals to bend up. You can also sit there with the bone folder and do it, but to be honest, this is just a lot quicker. And then I need to decide where I want to put them. Do I want to put 2 up here? Maybe do 2 down there and 1 up there. And then the leaves, you can leave them flat, or you can use your fingers to sort of bend the petals, or you can use scissors and just fold around. Use closed scissors so that you don't end up stabbing yourself. It just gives a little bit more shape to things, rather than have everything flat. I guess I better do that little one. So you can use all sorts of things that you might have to hand. You can use your bone folder and just use the tip and draw, like in effect draw. So I've actually, and then you can then easily just fold them on those scored lines. So there's all sorts of ways that you can do it. It's really up to you. As crafters seem to make do with all sorts of things that we might have around. And that's that one. I just found it easy with my scissors. But each to their own, as I said. Oops. Especially since I don't know why, I'm just being really cack-handed at the moment. See, I'm not even folding. I'm just using the scissors and my finger. Just to give it that extra dimension. Now, I don't really need these bits, the stems of the branches, so I'm going to cut them all off. Then I don't have to worry about them. You can choose to glue these or use glue dots, but what you want to make sure is that you don't glue it to either the label or to the paper on the background. So the easiest thing to do is to open this up completely like that, and then you can't get anything on that card. So I'm going to put 2 pieces here. I just need to put some glue on the back of that, like so. I'm not too worried about the fact that there is glue seeping out, because I'm going to be putting the flowers over the top. Now, if I wasn't too happy with how this was actually sticking to things, I could put some extra glue like on the back of this leaf and that leaf that are going to be on top of the black, but I think I'm just going to leave it as is. Now I want one flower here, and then I'm going to have to tuck the second one in. So once you've got one in, using the glue. If you don't like using glue for this and would rather use glue dots, that's totally fine. So I've kind of done the reverse of that original card. I've gone for the 2 this side. Let's see, I have to just use something to hold it for a minute. And then, let's see, I'm going to turn this, close this, so that I can see where I am. Don't really want to cover the sentiment up. I think I've just about got away with that. I'm going to put that one there, I think. I'm going to put the leaf down first. That's it. Put a bit of glue on the back of the flower. Put that on here, like so. And then I've also got the rhinestones to add. I'm going to use my Turkey Bit tool for that. Just pick up a rhinestone, stick it in the middle. Oops, that's not quite the middle. I'll move that in a second. This one needs to move a bit. Now these flowers will get flattened down a bit in an envelope. It's sort of just what happens when you put things in envelopes. So that's the 2 cards. So they look slightly different. I mean, they're the same paper, just different sides of the paper. So I'm going to put the flowery bit on here. Make sure my envelope is the right way up. Put that on. Let's see now. It's going to have to go that way. That bit needs to be cut off. You can see the hand's glued side down, as it always does. Right, I think that's it. So that's the card from this afternoon, like so. And this is the card from this morning. As I said, same paper, just simply different side, just turn the paper over. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing that. This will get uploaded to my YouTube channel, and as I said, I will make sure that I add in the description on the video description, I should say, details of what I've used and the sizes and things. So hope you've enjoyed that. I'll be back in 2 weeks for another card and a cuppa. Until then, we have craft and chats on Monday afternoons at 4:30. So if you can join us then, that would be great. Otherwise, I will see you here in 2 weeks' time. Take care. Bye.